Hi, this is Michael from Wench Train Fanatics. It's about that time to get the dust off of these trains, layouts, and even this channel. In this video, we're going to talk about what I found to be the best solution to get rid of all of our dust on all of our rolling stock, all of our engines, our layout. Stay tuned. Now, we've been in this hobby probably about 4 or 5 years. Many people have been in it for a lot longer. Some of you are just getting into it or just discovering the hobby for the first time and are learning more about it. One of our biggest enemies, besides water, one of our biggest enemies as train hobbyist enthusiasts is dust. Dust is very detrimental to all of our engines, especially the newer ones. You don't want the dust getting up and inside of it. You want to make sure that everything is clear off. You want to, when it comes to your layout and your buildings on your layout and your rolling stock, right? Now, many, when we first started, when we get into this hobby, we would do something as easy as using, a microfiber cloth. Okay, so where we can sit here and we can wipe down everything, right? But you still wouldn't get into the crevices that are all along here, all the fine details, and so it would leave a buildup. So you said, okay, I need something more refined than that. I need something that will be able to really get into those nooks and crannies, would be able to get into there. So you come out with a brush, okay? It could do the job. It's done it for some time to take it off of the larger parts of it. But in reality, all it's doing is it's just brushing it all around, okay? And if you even, if you, the more you use it and you collect it, all the debris, all of the dust that's collected on here will come back onto your surface or even go into the air to come back after you've cleaned everything. So we said, this isn't really working for us. Neither is this. What else can we get? So I was looking around, did some research, and I found this. I found this on Amazon. All right, it is an all-purpose vacuum cleaner. And also, before I get into that, I'd also use a shop vac. Okay, but you can see this thing is big, it's clunky. Do you really want to take it around everywhere? You're limited with how long your cord is, or how long your hose is, how long your power cord is. All right, and to be honest with you, this is very powerful. It's a shop vac. It's meant to suck up bolts and screws from a floor, okay? Which is actually a little bit too much force when you're talking about your layout, when you're talking about trying to see, I can't even set this on the chair right. That's how clumpy and bulky it is. So when you talk about your layout, right, you can see the dust. If you have, a scenery set up like this, you really want enough to pull the dust up and not too much to disrupt your scenery. Also, when you have your buildings and you have your other cars. So, wanted to get something that could suck it up. Another thing that we would have a problem with is when we have devices and rolling stock like this. Now, if you see, there's all these separate little parts in here, little wires, little gears, okay? And these are all things that you can't really use with a microfiber cloth because you'll get caught in it and you'll rip it right off. Get something like this, sure, again, you can do it, but again, it's leaving a lot of the stuff there, a lot of the dust and debris. So again, I went looking for another solution, and this is what I found. What's great about this is that it's really meant for keyboard cleaning, auto detailing, PC dusting, and home and office. This is going to have enough power to suck up all the dust that you need, but it's not too powerful to suck up everything else that you don't want sucked up. Okay. I have many years of experience with being a PC support technician, and I know how vital it is that when you're vacuuming out the inside of your computer on the motherboard and the other components that are in there, you have to get the dust off, but you don't want it too hard that you're going to dislodge any of the capacitors or any of the other electronics that are on the motherboard inside your computer. So this is going to be great, and we'll go over all the different features that this thing has. Alright, So opening it up right away, we can see that it's got a really nice handheld. It's not clumpy, it's not big and bulky. Okay, it's the size of a little hair dryer, a little handgun. Okay, a little plastic toy gun. It's not that big and bulky. It's not that heavy. I don't know the exact weight of it, but I would imagine it's probably a little over a pound. I wouldn't say it would be more than that. Okay, and the name of the manufacturer is ColorCoral. Okay, and it's a vacuum, a handheld vacuum cleaner. Now, what's also inside is a secondary filter that's in there. So if your one filter that's already included in there gets all clogged up and gets all dirty, you have a second filter that they provide you with. Inside this bag, they also have a refine tool, so that this way you can concentrate the sucking power into one confined area rather than using just this bigger hole that they have right up in front. So that also could be in handy. They have a charging cable right here, which is a USB-C 3, a USB-C connection right about here. Okay, so it's all your more modern connections that you have. So therefore, if you did accidentally misplace this, chances are if you have an Android phone or have some type of electronic equipment that has a USB cable, you might be able to just use that. So what's great is that it's got this universal cord that comes with it. In addition to this refining adapter here, you also have this one here, which has bristles. Now, bristles are really good to get into the nooks and crannies, to get into all the fine details of your rolling stock and your engines. And then you can also, it helps to brush, and right, so that if it's sitting there in little grooves, like in these shingles that are on this on this structure or the fine detail here, it will be able to disrupt it, dislodge it, and then suck it up through the adapter. And again, here's your backup filter. Now, what's also great is that because this is chargeable, rechargeable, I don't have to worry about, do I have to have an extension cord? Do I have to go get an external extension cord? Where's my nearest outlet, right? I can just have it, charged up and ready to go. It's probably pretty good depending on what your area is, depending on where you are, where you keep everything in your layout, that it's probably important to maintain a regular cleaning structure. Now myself, we keep all of our engines and all of our rolling stock in the unfinished part of our basement, and it shares the same room as our washer and dryer and our boiler. So as you can imagine, there's quite a bit of activity going on down in that room. So I think that, we're gonna set for ourselves probably every 3 months just to go through and just vacuum up whatever we can. The website said that this has about a 6 to 8 hour runtime, which could be good. Not that you're really gonna be sitting there for 6 to 8 hours vacuuming all of your stuff up, but at the very least, maybe 2 or 3 hours to take, depending again how many pieces you have in your collection. So looking forward to getting started with this. Now, when it was shipped, they had a little protection right here to protect the actual trigger right here. It's held on by masking tape, so I would imagine that this is almost like not something that you're going to put back on once you start using it. All right, so you just want to be mindful of that, because then that means that there is no locking mechanism, okay, so that to stop it from turning on. So why that's important is because if you store it in a drawer somewhere and you cram a bunch of other stuff in that drawer, you run the possibility of having something hit that button, and then all of a sudden you're going to run out of your battery and you're not going to have it for when you really need it. One of the really neat features that I just noticed with this, and I did not read this in any of the pamphlets yet, of course, because I play with it before I actually read instructions. Right above the trigger right here is a little onboard light, which I think is very, very interesting and very handy. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to place my extension right in here. It inserts right in. Now again, what's also really nice about this is when I push this in, there's a little flap inside of there that opened up. That's really nice because that's where everything comes in, and this way when all of the dust and dirt is in there, it's not going to come out because the little flap's going to keep that section closed. All of the dust and debris is going to assemble right in this clear section right here and printed on here they have a little guide right here that shows the unlock symbol along with an arrow, which tells you that you turn it up that way, and then this is how you can clean out all of the dust and debris that you have. What's great, the fact that it's a clear container where all your dust and debris is going to go, that you can see how much and when you need to actually empty it out. Okay, and I just slide it back in, turn it just maybe probably a half an inch, and now it locks into place. So now I'm going to go ahead and with this, again, it's even with the two extensions on here, it seems really nice. It's definitely something that I can have my 7-year-old daughter do. It's something that, you know, she can learn about how to clean and maintain all of our things, all of our rolling stock. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see how powerful this is. You can tell in the picture right now, you can see all the different, how much dust we have on this. I just did 2 simple passes, 3 passes, and that looks pretty good. I see a little nook and cranny there, so I'm just going to go over it a little bit more. And what a difference. Now I can go through all my details on this. Look at that. I had a piece of paper to show you the suction. Okay, see? So it's enough suction that it can suck up the dust and dirt, but doesn't suck up the piece of paper. Now if I remove this, just barely enough, okay? So that's great amount of power, again, just enough to suck up your dust, but not too much that it's going to destroy all of the work you've done on your layout. Move that over. Put this on the track. Oh wow. Wow. Look at that. That looks nice. Again, it takes off all the dirt, all the loose dirt, all of the dust. Okay? Still got my little light, even though it's really light and you really can't see it all that much. You can't see it being that bright. But I think it's enough that would be able to do the trick. I can't really tell here because I have all my studio lights on, but I think at the end, I think it really would help in a lowly dimmed location. Again, I'm doing this on the shingles of the house. I can see exactly what I've already done, what areas I've already done, because I can see that the dust has been removed. All right. Now I don't see any kind of indication light. I don't see anything on here that's going to tell me that my battery is running low and that I should charge it. So it's probably just a good rule of thumb that if you just ideally keep an eye out and remember how long you've actually been using it, that will be an indication. Also, as you can tell with anything that's been battery operated that you've operated and dealt with, that most likely it's just going to slowly start going slower and lower and lower. The motor, the vacuum motor that's inside here is going to go a lot slower. But I think all in all, I paid about $30 for this. I looked at a lot that were on there, quite a bit of reviews. And again, I got this on Amazon. It is ColorCoral. And I think it's going to be really great. A really great tool. I can see the dust that has collected within the air filter. It also has a nice 3 points of ventilation. It's got some ventilation there on this side here and all along the back here. It seems like the air comes out, the cooling vents are on the 2 sides, and then a lot of air comes out the back. Okay. And right at the bottom there is the USB-C port where I would connect this wire in. And then the other end is your traditional USB. So you would either plug this into your computer or your laptop, or even if you have a if you have an old phone charger laying around, you should be able to plug that right into your phone charger. There is no 110 volt adapter that comes with it, but anything that's made to have the USB connection at the end of it will have the components inside of it so that it could step down the voltage so that it could properly charge this and not have too much power for it. Again, it does not come with the 110 plug for you to plug into your wall. It just comes with the USB connection. So you're either going to need, again, your laptop, your computer to stick into, or possibly your cell phone charger. All right. I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun, and I know Mackenzie's going to have a lot of fun cleaning all of our trains up and making them all look new. All right. So now that we've taken the dust off, oh, you know what we haven't done? We didn't test it on our layout. So let's see how this is going to work. All right. So I'm going to come up here. All right. Remember I kicked off the video and I said I'm going to start using this before reading the instructions? It's probably always wise to read instructions first, even if something looks as simple as, you know, oh, it's just a button and adapters. It definitely says charging. It says connect the cord to your computer or suitable adapter type C. Number 2, the battery takes 6 hours to fully charge. But when you receive the vacuum cleaner, you need to charge the battery for 12 hours before first use. How interesting. All right. What I did notice though is that there is a little red light, an indication light right about here. I also started noticing that this light did not come on when I was trying to start it. So the good thing is that it still works, okay? But I'll have it right now hooked up to my laptop. I'll have it charging in a bit. But I guess while I'm doing this, when I probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm curious to see how much of this stuff on my layout it's going to pick up. Oh, that's awesome. That is really awesome. So I had some extra loose ballast from my track that made its way out onto the field. And I was able to pick that up without actually picking up foliage that I have laying around. So I was able to select exactly what I wanted. It picked up the rocks, but did not pick up anything else that I didn't want. That's also what's great about having this connection right here, so that you can isolate exactly where you want it to suck up and what you don't want it to suck up. So all in all, I'm very happy with this. I'm looking forward to using it and making sure that we get the dust off our rolling stock, our engines, our layout, and now with our first video in over 2 years, now we kick the dust off of our YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
Yes.